I don't know why it does that. Straight away, straight into a technical problem. It all just started. Hello, evening everyone. Technical problem straight away.
Here's a Facebook.
Let's just move this. Everyone okay this evening? It's gone really warm, I think. Temperature's just gone up by at least 5 degrees.
It's me wrapped up like a little bundle.
Yeah, it hasn't in here. It's just outside.
Justine's here.
Well, the weather's like everywhere else. What you see, it's muggy here, isn't it? It's warm and wet now, which I suppose is more like summer.
Doesn't resemble summer in any way, shape, or form. It's blinking freezing.
Well, it's not now. It's gone quite warm outside.
And Sharon's here.
She'll just grab me bits.
Justine says his Bailey's still meditating.
Yeah, he's down there in the Zen space.
Pam's here.
Everyone okay? Because we usually give it a couple of minutes, don't we, to see who's going to join us. Bit of a different one tonight.
Very eye-opening, this one.
This will probably be the last one for a while. We've done 10, surprisingly enough, 10 weeks. Soon goes.
Yeah, we're going to have a much needed break.
Yeah, it's because we have to get up. It's kind of like it's like the worst night, isn't it, really, because we've got to be up dead early on a Wednesday. So it's been quite difficult and I'm not getting much sleep. Right, so I think we'll make a start then, shall we? Yeah, like I said, I think we're a bit different tonight. I thought we'd mix it up a little. Instead of, say, picking a ingredient or something that's in all these soaps and household products, I thought what we'd do as kind of a recap, so it's like two birds in one stone, is I thought I'd pick the 5 sort of top selling brands out of 5 products. So I've picked a shampoo, skin cream, shower gel, like a bath bomb, and a balm. So these are either the top selling brand or probably the most recommended of each of these in the UK. As far as I could tell, anyway, I've searched to see which ones sell the most. Yeah, so I thought we'd start with the shampoo, which is probably one of the main things that people use in the household with cosmetic stuff. I just thought I'd pick 5. There's no particular, what's the word I'm looking for? Nothing particularly against these brands. It's just that these are like the top selling ones, so that's why I've picked those.
Not cherry picked them or anything.
No, it's just yeah. So I thought I'd pick those and see what's in them. So we'll start with top selling shampoo, which is Tresemme, from what I can gather. And it's not a full list of what's in there. I've just picked out the kind of things that we've been talking about in these lives. So just to point out which of those are in each one of these. Yeah, so that is our friends SLS and SLES. So that's sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium lauryl ethoxysulfate. And just a quick recap on those there in there, because there's surfactants. So basically a soap. Things, I don't know if you can remember, but things they're mainly associated with are things like corneal damage. So they'll attack your eyes. Skin irritation, surprisingly enough, in a shampoo. They actually denature proteins. So that's going to disrupt things like your enzymes in your cells, the actual structure of your cells. Made out of proteins. Anything in your body that's made out of protein, your skin, muscles. The way they do that, if you disrupt a protein, it's best analogy I can think of is like cooking an egg. So like the egg white is basically protein water in it. And if you can either use an acid or you can use temperature to denature them, and it turns white and turns solid. So that's the same kind of effect. There are also these, what they call endocrine disruptors. They mimic the hormone estrogen in particular. And these things, again, when they wash down the drain, they build up in the environment. So they're all contributing to this build-up of estrogens in our environment that we seem to be swamped with these days. And that can have all kinds of knock-on effects, such as, especially in women, things like breast cancer, infertility, all those things that are associated with that. The other thing about these is, since they're mainly made from palm oil, so they'll extract the palm oil and then make the sodium salt and all that of them. They have a big impact on the environment as well in that respect, because a main cause of deforestation is palm oil, especially in the Far East now, places like Sumatra, Indonesia, all around there. And sometimes they do it illegally, even some of the big brands, like the big companies, I think we did name them. So, naughty. So that's number one that's in there. Number two on the list there is dimethicones. So again, I don't know if you remember, they're silicon compounds, long chain silicon compounds. They usually go in there because they give either a texture or they're good for giving things a shine. And they also make things kind of not stick to each other. You know what I mean? They like slip over each other. Well, that's one of the reasons they use them. But these are well-known liver toxins. They build up in tissues. They've been associated with cataracts, certain types of cataracts. They'll build up in your eye and cause blindness. So it's because your body can't deal with them. They're silicon. Our systems aren't set up to deal with that. Again, endocrine disruptor, mimicking estrogen. So associated with that, they can be carcinogenic. They're also associated with a lot of allergic reactions. Next one on the list, our old friend parfum, which is a strange one. This is a lot of people just think, oh, it's a nice smell, it's perfume. Well, it can be a catalogue of was it 3,000 or so chemicals that were on the list that are allowed to be used for that. And because usually it's a secret formula to give a certain smell, they don't have to say what's in it. So that's why they just call it parfum. So it could be any of these things in there. And these are terrible, some of them. A lot of them are toxic, carcinogenic, again, estrogenic, mutagens, so that means they interfere with your DNA. Teratogens, some of them, and that means it can disrupt the growth of a growing fetus. They're also really bad environmental toxins. They build up in the environment, wash down the drain again. So we're either drinking them if we recycle the water, or it's being sprayed on crops, things like that. So you can see, this added effect And that's just the shampoos so far. Another interesting one, we didn't cover this one. This is EDTA. So that is put in there it's what they call a chelating agent. And so it binds to metals. So the reason they put that in there is it's like a softener. And a kind of preservative as well. It stabilises things, stabilises the formulas. But EDTA isn't very nice stuff either. It can attack your kidneys. So toxic to your kidneys. It interferes with your insulin production and cycle. It's been associated with blood clots. And strangely enough, it can lower the metal levels in your body, which is exactly what it's designed to do. It clings onto metals. So it can drain metal out of your system, such as calcium, iron, magnesium, all of which you need for your bones, your blood, all your trace metals. So it'll bind to those and solubilize them, and then it gets flushed out of your system. Then we move on to PEG. This one we did cover, polyethylene glycols. Not so much the stuff itself, although there are problems with it, but by far and away the worst thing about PEGs is the impurities that's in them. Especially residual ethylene glycol, which is toxic, another teratogen, another one that targets your kidneys and is also associated with allergic reactions. You got residual ethylene oxide, which is what they're made from. Again, it's a well-known carcinogen, especially associated with leukemia. Another impurity is dioxane. That's associated with liver cancer. And these things are usually found in there. They're supposed to be in there, the impurities at a safe level of 0.001% or something, but they've actually been found in PEGs at levels of 0.15%. So that's, for a rinse-off product, that's 100 times what it should be. And for a leave-on product, it's 1,000 times what it should be. Yeah, so another one there. So that's 5 things in there. Also, SLES is associated with the problems of PEG because part of that molecule incorporates a PEG, so they'll add that to it. So not only is it the same as SLS, but it's got that added bonus of associated PEG problems. This one in particular has got this stuff in it. All right, see if I can pronounce this in one go. Methylchloroisothiazolinone. So that's in there as an antimicrobial, like a preservative to stop fungus and bacteria growing in it. It's a source of chlorine, so anything like that. We all know what chlorine does. It's used in swimming pools. This one in particular that they're using, it's an irritant, surprisingly. Sensitizer, but it's also a neurotoxin. So it'll affect your nerves, how they work, your sensitivity, your motor function. It's also, for some strange reason, it tends to build up in your lungs. So it's a particular lung toxin. I'm not really sure why that is, but that's what it says. Seems to migrate to your lungs. Yeah, so that's the number one selling shampoo. Got all those in it. The next one we picked was Aveeno Skin Cream. It's a very good seller, but the main reason we picked this one is because it tends to be recommended for certain complaints. I think it's like eczema, things like that. I think it's actually recommended by a lot of the NHS actually. So that's the main reason we picked that one. The top of the list in there, paraffin liquid. I don't know if you remember what we spoke about, paraffins. So they're basically refined petrol, crude oil, and it's the heavier fractions. Again, not so much the paraffin itself, because paraffin means like unreacting, but it's the impurities that are left in there. They've been found at percentage levels as well, even in the very pure white one. I forget what level that was now.
9%.
That was about 9%, yeah. So you've got 9% of the aromatic hydrocarbons that are left in there. So these are various chemicals that are present in crude oil that they can't actually strip out altogether. So it's kind of a similar mixed scenario to the paraffin, although they are different chemicals. But not surprisingly, a lot of them are toxic, carcinogenic, estrogenic again, and they tend to build up in the environment. One in particular that's found in there is this indeno 1,2,3-CD pyrene, which is that carcinogenic. It's used as a standard. So if there's a certain chemical they want to test, what they'll do is run a control of something that they know won't cause cancer. And then they'll do, on the other end of the spectrum, they'll run something that they absolutely know will cause cancer pretty much 100% of the time, which is one of these, this indeno 1,2,3-CD pyrene, which is in the paraffin liquid. If it's in there as a contaminant, so that absolutely does cause cancer. So yeah, that's in there. We've got dimethicone again, which we've just spoke about. So I don't know if you want me to recap what that does. Liver toxin, builds up in tissues, causing blindness, endocrine disruption, estrogenic, carcinogenic, allergic. It's then also got paraffin, which is the more solid form, like the thicker fraction, which will probably be harder to purify, I would have thought. So again, you're kind of getting a double whammy there of what the nasties in the paraffin are. And then it's got BHT, which is butyl hydroxytoluene. That was another one that we covered. I can't remember what week it was, about week 5 or so. That's put in there as an antioxidant. Again, to stabilise things, shelf life. But again, BHT has been associated with liver cancer. Interferes with vitamin K, which disrupts all your clotting in your blood. It's also a categorised and well-known environmental hazard with long-lasting effects. So work has been done on that to see what happens to the environment, and it just lingers. It's another endocrine disruptor. So your estrogenics again. It's that's associated with all sorts. Breast cancers, male infertility. It's also a cytogenotoxin, so the genetic material in cells is targeted by this stuff and it attacks it. So that's your Aveeno skin cream and what's in there. Next, I thought we'd do a shower gel. So from what I can tell, the best-selling shower gel in the UK is the Radox. I say they're all very similar, but I just thought I'd pick the best-selling ones. So you got your SLS in there again. Our old friend, sodium lauryl sulfate. some parfum. So that's your toxic mixture again. EDTA, which we spoke about earlier. Then we've got a couple of colours in there. So this one it's given a code, and it's called Blue 1. So obviously it's a blue colour. It's like a kind of a Prussian blue. It's a well-known irritant. It's actually banned in most of the countries of the EU, but for some reason we allow it here. I think it's allowed in North America as well. It's actually been found to be inflammatory to brain tissue. So they've done tests on that. It makes your brain tissue swell. And it also causes cognitive impairment. So any people who've got fibro fog will know what that's like. I imagine that's a kind of similar kind of thing. And the next one, I think most people will probably have heard of this one. That's the code for it. Tartrazine. That's kind of a yellowy, orangey dye. It's been associated with allergic reactions. It's been suspected to cause ADHD. And in the study done in the UK, which I think was Southampton University, it's been pretty much shown to cause hyperactivity in children. So we all know that one, food colour. Was it sunset yellow it was called?
It's an orange.
No, it's kind of, yeah, yellowy orange. No, I think that's the one. Yeah, so that gives it kind of a greeny colour, that stuff. That's why that's in there. As I say, there are other ingredients in there. I've just picked out the ones that aren't so good for you. This one is probably the best-selling kind of bath bomb brand in the UK. It might even be the world, I'm not sure. But it's also associated with, they tend to beat the environmental drum a lot. But when you actually look at what they put in their stuff, they do use a lot of essential oils and things, but they also use a lot of other stuff, which isn't so good. So you've got your methyl parabens and propyl parabens. So again, this is one we covered. I can't remember what week that was either. But yeah, these were shown to be estrogenic, particularly nasty, these ones. Estrogenic, endocrine disrupting. They're associated with breast cancers, male infertility. They also interfere with your lipid and your glucose levels in your blood, which can lead to diabetes. It's also been shown that they can be passed, these, from a mother to her baby through the placenta. So it's what they call a multi-generational toxin. So use these things, you'll pass it on to your kid. It's growing inside you. It's actually been shown as a very potent estrogenic, this one, because it mimics perfectly the action of estrogen on many of the estrogen receptors in your cells. So that's been quite well demonstrated that it does that. So it's yeah. So again, associated with all that, what all that brings, interferes with the menstrual cycle. Also builds up in the environment. Another one. So again, wash it down the drain. It's into the water system. If the water's recycled, you're drinking it. It could go onto crops and you're eating it. Oh yeah, they just hang around in the environment. We've got, they actually call it perfume, which is probably parfum. So it's the same thing. They're allowed to call it either or either. So that's, again, I looked on their website and didn't actually say what they were using in there. It just transferred you to a list of possibles on like a generic website. So again, trade secret. They're allowed to get away with not saying what they're using. Yeah, and then it's this. They use a lot of synthetic colours. For some reason, on their website, it says benefits synthetic. I really don't understand that. Why would that be a benefit that it's synthetic? I don't know if anyone can enlighten me on that. Yeah, so we've got the blue one, which we've just spoke about. So because we've not covered that before, I'll say again, it's banned in most of the EU. It's an irritant, inflames brain tissue, and produces cognitive impairment. The next one they've got is called Red 4, which has been shown to be a possible carcinogen. I'll say why shortly. What are you doing? Another one they use. This is just one of them. It's not in all of them. This is just one particular one that's got all these in. Yellow 10. It's an irritant to skin, eyes, another endocrine disruptor. Tartrazine's in there. We've just covered that one again. Another one called Red 33. Again, a possible carcinogen. I say possible because some studies have been done that shows they are, but because they're not too well published and not a lot of work has been done on it, they call them possible. Yeah, so these come under the class of what you call like an azo dye. These have been around a long time. I've actually made some they call them diazonium reactions. I've made some similar things in the past, and certainly these starting materials that go into them are quite toxic and carcinogenic. But these have been around a long time, and surprisingly enough, even though they've been around such a long time, not a lot of work has been done on them to see how carcinogenic they actually are. So why is that? Yeah, so all these they come under that umbrella, so they're all kind of suspect carcinogens, those. Another one they use is that's the code. It's kind of a pinky red colour. It's an aluminium based dye. So that's been shown to be an irritant. It's harmful, but by no means, I couldn't find a lot of data on it. So and when you see what is published, it just says not fully tested. So basically, it's not been tested very well, and it's being used. Jump over this side now.
Paula was saying that she can't use those bath bombs because they bring her out in blisters within minutes of being in the water, like within seconds of being in the water.
Wow. That's probably why. Yeah, I think I'd avoid them. Not that I'd use them anyway. But that's fast, that though, isn't it?
Mm.
What's in there? Again, there are other ingredients they put, like the citric acid and bicarb. That's to give the fizz. Yes, the next one, I thought we'd pick a balm. So thought we'd pick the best-selling balm. Everyone seems to know the name of this one, Tiger Balm. Okay, yeah, it does use essential oils, and the ones that are in there, they're all right, they're pretty good. But what they do use as well is paraffins to create the balm itself. That's the base. So they've got, in particular, they mentioned it's a soft yellow paraffin as opposed to the soft white. So soft yellow means that it hasn't been purified as much, because when you collect it at first, it's brown. So you have to purify it to get it white. So the fact that it's yellow shows that it's not as pure as the white one. So the white one has been shown to be 9% containing of these aromatic hydrocarbons. So chances are the other one has got more. I don't know, but it kind of makes sense. And then there's what they call a hard paraffin. So I imagine that's a paraffin wax that they mix with that to get the right consistency they want. Again, high molecular weight, it's probably harder to purify. So chances are there could be more of these things trapped in there. Well, that's just banging the mic. That's my thought on it, but it makes sense to me. Yeah, so all the impurities that we mentioned before in there. Where was that? Yeah, toxic, carcinogenic, estrogenic, build up in the environment. And one of these impurities is that indeno 1,2,3-CD-pyrene, which is the standard for cancer testing. It's that good at causing cancer, they know it will. So they use that as a benchmark to measure other things against it. It's like that other one, Aloxan. I remember the name.
Hold on.
That's the one they use for testing things for diabetes. They give that to whatever animal, and it absolutely makes them diabetic. It specifically targets the beta cells in your pancreas. And it was produced at one time because we were bleaching flour, and it was forming this stuff in the flour. So as far as I know, they've stopped bleaching flour now. But you never know. I phoned a few places, didn't I, to check that years ago. I asked them if they were bleaching the flour, and they said no, they're not allowed to. So that's the likes of Warburton's, people like that. I phoned them up. Yeah, so there's the top 5. It's just a small sample of what's on the shelves. The list is endless, isn't it, really? What's the different colours, the different packaging, but basically the variations on a theme, most of them. Again, all this is being washed down into our rivers, lakes, into the sea, into our food. So, yeah, we need to stop it. People are getting sick. I don't know if anyone's got any questions. I'll say I will reiterate, I've not picked any of these in particular. It's just that they were at the top of the list, bestsellers. Apart from, that might be, but I wasn't sure about that one. I'll pick that because it's recommended by doctors a lot of the time.
Lisa says, my grandkids love bath bombs with a crying face. Lisa, I'll do a demo if you want at some point on a live showing you how you can make bath bombs out of our bath sherbets.
Yeah, that'd be good, yeah.
And you can make them at home, and it's a fun activity to do with the children as well. And they can make their own shape bath bombs.
No, that'd be good, yeah. We don't put anything like that in there. It's just the full basic ingredients and your essential oils.
Paula says the one that absolutely causes cancer is that at certain levels and concentrations. I don't understand how they can get away with that.
I don't either. Well, all we can say from what I've read is that as a whole, so it's like a cocktail of stuff that's left behind. As a whole, even in what they call the white purified one, it's been found to have 9% of those altogether. So what level that particular one is in there, I couldn't tell you. But it's like a cocktail. They're all pretty nasty. I mean, I've still got the thing there. Haven't I? These are the kind of things that are in there. One Chrysene. That's the structures for them. It's a cocktail.
Sharon says, I blame years of using this stuff for my health issues.
Oh, I stopped using them years ago, didn't I, really? For this reason. At the risk of saying it again, but yeah, that's the serious reason why we use all natural products, because we don't want any of this. It's not just because we're being trendy or anything like that. It's absolutely a serious reason why we're all natural. I mean, just imagine a typical day. You wake up, you wash your hair, put some nice cream on your skin. Well, you'd probably use those first, wouldn't you? Put cream on your skin. You might have a bit of a backache. You might put something like that on. Then later on, you'll go and soak in the bath and use one of them. Can you imagine all that you're getting? You could potentially get all that in one day. It's crazy.
And like you say, that's not
that's before
an exhaustive list of the ingredients. Yeah. That's just.
And then there's perfumes, deodorants, toothpaste,
cleaning products.
Yeah, all that. It's you're just bombarded. Anyway, yeah, say if any questions about it all, you know where we are. Well, it's just a quick run through the top 5.
So, well, we could make some bath bombs on the live tomorrow. And I can do that together, can't we?
Yeah. Get a chance.
If I can find some moulds. We should have some floating around somewhere, shouldn't we?
Well, yeah, I'll have a look in the morning. Yeah, okay. I'll have a go at that. We've got some bath sherbet knocking about. Have we got any of those trinky things? A wrapper?
I don't know.
Not sure if we have. I've not used them for years.
RJ says it's so scary.
It is, yeah. They say ignorance is bliss. Not if you ask me, it's not. Read, make yourself aware, and then you'll be more blissful, I'd say.
Lisa says we need a book to refer to.
I keep getting asked about a book.
It'd be a bestseller, darling.
Getting time. Those busy, aren't we?
Jay, do you know how to make bath bombs?
Yeah, she's done it. Well, we can go through it with her again. Alright, okay then, if no one's
Paula says, Mark, you should definitely write a book. I think bath bombs are the only product that's ever nearly caused us to have a divorce, love, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Back in the early days.
A long time ago. Okay then, so
Jane says, are we making some? Yeah, we're going to do some on the live so people can make bath bombs out of their bath sherbets if they want to, you know, especially like if kids want them. Sharon says, I'm going to have to write myself an avoid list.
Well, you used to kind of laugh at me when we first met, didn't you? Now you're as bad as me. Reading everything. That's the best advice I can give to people. Read what's in things. And even then, you're not getting the full story. Okay then.
We could do with having a hotline to you when we're shopping, couldn't we?
Yeah, like the speaking clock.
Yeah. Oh, Jay says you both had a long day. Get home and get your feet up.
At the third stroke, there will be EDTA.
Paula says read and research, people.
Yeah, definitely. We always say that, don't we?
But we're going to have a break for a few weeks.
Yeah, this will be the last one for a while at least. It's been quite taxing. It's not just doing this, we've got other things on as well. Like I said, Wednesday mornings we've got to be here very early.
But if there's anything else that you'd like Mark to cover at some point, if we do another series in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Let us
See how we go. All right then, shall we wrap it up? That's number 10 done. So I hope these have been helpful to people, informative, and we're not trying to scare you, but the truth is scary. These things are around us all the time now.
Paula says she will think of a list of topics by the time you return. But yeah, we want to know what you want to know. So yeah, have a think and let us know.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, get in touch. We'll get a list together. Cool. Okay then. All right, so we'll wrap it up then for now. That's all 10 done.
We'll see you tomorrow for a bath bomb masterclass.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll join us again. Thanks for joining tonight. We'll see you soon. Take care, guys.
See you guys.